Radical.
I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do, which was have about 3 or 4 uploads going into great detail on all the NFL games. So I'm going to just kind of smush this all together. I did want to. I also wanted to watch all 4 games this weekend, but for various reasons I did not get to watch a single one of the games. I've seen a lot of the highlights on NFL, their YouTube channel, various other places. A friend of mine had some recorded. It was the Buccaneers Rams game that I saw the most of, actually. So just going to go ahead and give my thoughts on the 4 games from what I know of the games. And currently, not to get any sympathy here, but I do have a lot of splinters in my left thumb. So right after this, I'm going to have to get the needle. It's always fun. Go digging for the splinters. I think I got some deep ones too. Okay, so first off, we got the Bengals and the Titans. The Titans weren't they the number 1 seed, I believe? Honestly, I didn't follow the Titans a whole lot this year, and they're done. The Bengals got them. The Bengals won that game. That's what I know of that game. Bengals have a great quarterback. I'm sorry. I don't follow the Bengals or the Titans a whole lot. My apologies. I mostly focus on certain teams. But I will say the Bengals, I don't know, they got a shot. Oh, wait, they're taking on the Chiefs. I don't really think they have a shot. Next up, I'm going to wait for that one till the end. Next up, we got the Rams and the Buccaneers. So, the Rams were up on this one. I was following the score of this game. Was like, 27-3? And I thought, well, okay, it's going to be a stomping, going to be a whooping. But then, the typical Brady comeback. They were trying to give it to the Buccaneers. My friend called me up. He was lucky and fortunate enough to be able to be watching the game. And he said, man, the Rams were going to crush them, but the Buccaneers are going to give it to them. Apparently there were some fumbles and all kind of different stuff, and they got close, and they tied it, I believe, at the end of the game, came down to a field goal. There were several games this week and last week, I believe, that came down to a field goal at the end of the game with time expiring. Yeah, this has got to be some kind of record for consecutive games decided by a field goal with time expiring. So, I think the Rams are going to the bowl. I think this is the year. I think they're loaded up. I mean, they got Von Miller, they got Odell Beckham, they're just loaded up. They did everything they could do. They got Matthew Stafford. Stafford showed that, he's a really good quarterback. Maybe he's not like top tier elite, but he's a really good quarterback. And a big question after this one was, what's Brady going to do? Is Brady going to retire? Is he going to come back? Next year, I think the Buccaneers, they're losing some people, I hear. And I don't know. I mean, I would say if Tom goes out right now, he goes out close to the top. I mean, he had can't take anything away from him. He had a great comeback there. It was a really close game with a really great team in the Rams. So, I don't know. I don't want to see Tom Brady like Ben Roethlisberger. I don't want to see like a Ben Roethlisberger way past his prime Tom Brady. So, but man, it might be funny to see Tom Brady, quarterbacking into his 50s and 60s. Might be kind of funny, but I don't know. I think he's done enough. I mean, what else does Tom really have to prove at this point? I guess he's mostly just playing for the fun of it. Okay, so next up, we got the Packers and the 49ers, which of course, the Packers, the number 1 seed, of course they're going to beat the lowly 49ers. Of course they are, Oh, watch out. It's a return of Aaron Rodgers. I read a stat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Aaron Rodgers has lost to the 49ers 4 times in the playoffs. He's 0-4 against the 49ers. There's something going on there. I just don't know. He just can't get over that hump, I guess. It's not that Jimmy Garoppolo was a better quarterback. we all damn well know he's not a better quarterback. So that's one instance to where I think overall the better team lost. The better quarterback lost. I don't know what the deal is with Aaron Rodgers. I think it's hilarious. He goes through all that stuff, all that freaking drama if he's going to come back and play for Green Bay, all that stuff. Then he had like the fake vaccination, or like he said he got immunized, but he actually wasn't and everything. So all that stuff this season, can't take it away. I think he's going to like be the MVP of the regular season. Can't take it away. Had a great regular season. Proved to everybody that he's just about the best when it comes to quarterbacking in the regular season. But in the playoffs, this man turns into Clark Kent. If he's Superman in the regular season, Mr. MVP, he turns into Clark Kent. No, not even Clark Kent, like Jimmy Olsen. I don't know what this guy's deal is. It seems like forever ago he won the Super Bowl, like forever ago. Can't take away from the man's greatness when it comes to just a lot of stats. Looking at the stats, I'm like, it's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But you look at his titles and you're like, well, what's going on here? The guy is I guess just a choke artist. Then that brings us to, by the way, there's some thoughts on maybe if Aaron Rodgers is going to retire too. Wouldn't it be nuts if Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady chose to retire at the same time? Just maybe go golfing together, right off into the sunset. Last but certainly not least, what some people are calling one of the best football games of all time, one of the best playoff games in recent memory, the Bills and the Chiefs. If not the best two teams right now currently playing, they're both in the AFC. These might be the two best teams right now. Like, I'm serious. Maybe the two best quarterbacks. I think we have a moment of a changing of the guard from like the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady to Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. They put on a show. I think both of them had over 300 passing yards. The completion percentages was really good. I just love watching these two quarterbacks. I didn't get to watch the game, but I saw a lot of the highlights. They're just amazing. I call Patrick Mahomes the sidearm slinger. It's just so fun to watch him sling that football sideways. And I'm like, he's right on target. There was one beautiful, I'd say it's gorgeous pass he had, to the right side. I forget who the receiver was. But you owe it to yourself to check out the highlights of this. I'll probably, in the outro, I'll put the highlights of this game in particular. I think this, out of all the weekend games, is the one you need to really check out the highlights from. Even if you're not a fan of football, it's just a joy, a treat to watch this. If I would have watched it and got to watch it, it's one of those games to where, like, even if you're not pulling for one of the teams, there's those games where you're like, you're only watching because your favorite team is playing. There's just those games, any sporting event, where you're just watching it and you're just in awe of how good the quarterbacks or the center or the power forward or the point guard in basketball or, any sport where you're just like, you're watching just to see a duel of great players. And that's what you got with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. How it ended. I don't even want to spoil it, but I will spoil it. Okay, just, finish it right here if you don't want to know how it ends. The Chiefs did win. They were down, and then they had 13 seconds. This man, Patrick Mahomes, had 13 seconds, I think, from the 25-yard line. 2 plays later, somehow, he's in field goal range. How are you going to let that happen? Okay, if you're the Bills, you come back, you get a lead on the Chiefs in their house, and then you have 13 seconds. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is contain this man, Patrick Mahomes, for 13 seconds, and they couldn't do that. Not embarrassing, though. I mean, not embarrassing. I don't want to make it seem like it's embarrassing because Patrick Mahomes is amazing and all. I'll tell you what is embarrassing. Back to the 49ers Green Bay Packers game, 13-10. 13-10. You telling me, that's all the points they can muster? yeah, some people might say it was snowing and everything, but you think Green Bay, they're used to that. You think they would have an advantage. But yeah, just so many interesting, amazing games this weekend, and I miss seeing all of them. But what about you guys and gals? Did you see any of these games? If so, what was your favorite game this weekend?